Gonna have two cameras going. Hello, guys, or guys and gals, whoever you are. I'm gonna try to get a box to lift you up higher because this is too weird of an angle for me. Let me try sitting you on a thing of baby wipes. How's that? I don't even have babies, but I've got baby wipes. Go figure. Woo! Goodness gracious. Okay. Here we are in Crazy Land with Monica. All right. So, in case you wonder what is happening, I'm actually live at two different channels. Oh my goodness. And I'm probably gonna have a meltdown. Let me take a drink of Diet Coke. Yes, this was another impromptu stream. I know some of you that's irritating. I do apologize for that. But what I wanted to do, um, I'm live over here at my Crafty Creators channel, and I see, hello, whoever you are. I don't know, I think it's working, but I don't see anyone like talking to me over there. But now, I'm live at Sparkle by Monica. Woohoo! Woohoo! So y'all are used to my shenanigans over here, but not you all over here. I keep pointing over here to the left because that's where my desktop computer is, but the camera is actually right here in front of me, and you're on my iPhone. So there we go. If I'm talking to the wrong camera, I hope that whoever's on my channels will please forgive me for this chaos. I don't plan to do dual live streams in the future, but I wanted to try to get anyone that's over here at Sparkle to be aware that we have this Crafty Creators channel. If you make handmade stuff and you are posting tutorials, anything about your crafting or your art process, if you're an artist, even a performance artist, I know I've talked about it before. I do have several videos on the Crafty Creators channel talking about that in detail. I also have a lot of information. Look, I'm trying to look at you both. I've got a lot of information at the website, which is the purpose of today's stream, cause yesterday I spent all day creating a website. Hey, Rebecca, how are you doing, gal? It's nice to see you. What do you think about my messy sparkle wall back here? I'm actually in my beading office today, and whew, boy, I'm telling you, it's a mess in here, Rebecca. I know you've probably heard me say that before, and I'm not even fibbing. It is the God's honest truth. But shh, I won't show y'all the real mess, because if I showed y'all the real mess, you'd think that I was in that episode of Hoarders that I always talk about. And I really don't. I'm trying to use my stuff. Oh, love it. Well, I have ribbon, I have beads, I have all kinds of stuff. So anyway, if you make some handmade crafts, or you're an artist, even a singer, an actor, like performance art, photographers, videographers, as long as it is like an artsy type of video and photography that you do, because it's not just like me running outside and take a picture of my cat, unless that's a really artsy photograph, because now there's been some really cool um, photos out there. Oh gosh, I forget who just posted one. Oh, Remy Moore. And it looked like he had sketched his cat, but I have an idea it was probably an app. He just took a picture and it does like a sketch type of thing. It was pretty cool. So anyway, and even Remy, he's a composer. He does a lot of music and things like that. He creates music. So come on over to Crafty Creators if you like. I just want to put that out there because the new website is up, and it's kind of bare bones right now. There is a place where you can sign in as a member and do discussions on forums. The public does not have access to that particular section of the website, which is why you have to sign up within the website to view it, because you can make a post and you can comment on posts between each other about whatever your craft is or your art. And I hope I've got everyone's particular category. loaded up in there. I think I still need to add in the photography and the videography section, but I have your knitters, your jewelry makers, your painters, even the singers and all that stuff. So I think I may just have one or two more to add. Leathercraft, woodcraft, all that kind of stuff is in there. But come on over. The website is www.handmadecraftycreators.com, and I have an email address and all that stuff. So it's fully functional, I hope. If you get on there and you have any particular issues with something not working, something doesn't look right, it's not letting you in, then give me a holler, let me know so that I can try to fix whatever's going on. And moving forward, I'm hoping then to see, it all depends though on how the group grows. You know, if there's not really any interest and no one really cares about getting that kind of interaction, they're only here to get like the other groups where they're just kind of all hopping on streams and supporting each other for support's sake and all of that stuff, which is fine. I totally get that. If you don't really care about getting handmade entrepreneur type information and business tips, or whatever crazy shenanigans that I come up with, because I do have a whole list of events that I want to do for every day of the week. If you're not interested in that kind of thing, I understand. So there's no pressure there. It's just something for myself, being a part of several groups that are doing the support, and I'm trying to remember to look at both of these cameras here. I see that there are 3 people over here on the Crafty Creators channel, so thank you. But for me, I like to have a little bit more meat and substance, especially on something that I'm so passionate about, and I like to learn as much as I can. I'm always taking trainings. I'm always trying to update my jewelry making skills, but also my social media and marketing and all that type of skill, because it's constantly changing, and I always want to learn. And I find that I learn best from my fellow crafty creators and business professionals. So for me, being a business professional in my background, and now being a crafty creator full time and a teaching instructor, a teaching artist, I meant, I like to try to pull from everyone whatever might help me to better understand how to be a better jewelry designer. Teaching artist, there are a lot of things that I can improve on, and I learn best from you guys. So, and it doesn't even have to be someone that makes jewelry. It could be someone that is doing their digital graphics. And I learn a lot on how to do my Photoshop for my jewelry pictures from you guys who are digital graphics artists. So that's another category that's in the group for Crafty Creators. So I don't see any chat going on over here to my left for the Crafty Creators. If you are over there, I think we're coming up on 20 minutes now. I'm probably going to shut it off here in just a minute, just so that it will go ahead and create itself as a video, and that will be our first live stream for Marketing Mondays for my Sparkle by Monica crowd. Again, even if you're not a crafty creator and you either visit YouTube to see my crazy shenanigans, or you have friends that might be interested in this, please go ahead and share if you don't mind. I really would appreciate that, to those that you think might be interested in joining that group, because I hope to eventually become even more active in what I can provide as far as events and services. You look you look forward to Monday all week. Woo, goodness, I sure don't. And I'm not even going to a full-time job at an office anywhere on Mondays. But now I do love to come to my beading room on Mondays. But I have the freedom now to kind of come in here a little bit later on in the morning versus being there at 7 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning. So, I take my time with my breakfast in the morning, so I don't have that pressure on me, but I still kind of am a little woeful on the Mondays. I guess it's just been permanently ingrained in my mind. But I'm looking forward to it. I will be heading out of town for a little while, so I'm trying to get everything that I can done up for the Crafty Creators site so it'll at least be able for me to, or easier for me to auto post. And I might have to kind of snag some of my homies to help me do like an admin moderation type of thing while I'm out. I don't know, I haven't quite figured that out yet, but when I get back, then I'll be full throttle again. Now, I'm not going to be doing this full time. However, I will be available to you guys. So if you get on Crafty Creators and you're checking out the website, maybe you're having discussions in the forums, or you know, you're on the Facebook group and you're having discussions, whatever it is, and you have an idea that you want to put out for, you know, whatever it is, or you need to ask me a question, go ahead and send me a message. I'll be able to respond, even though I might be out of town for the next little bit. When I come back, however, I'll be a little bit more hands on. I'm just not going to be full time, because what you see behind me is what I'm doing full time, my jewelry making. And I also teach classes locally, so sometimes I might have a class or whatnot, and I'm not sitting on top of my computer or my cell phone at every spare moment of the day, even though my husband thinks I do. Which I probably do. So thank you so much for showing up to both of my live streams. I want to say again, welcome, Crafty Creators. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you just kind of stumbled upon this channel and this stream, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Go ahead and follow us on all of the social platforms. Again, we have a Facebook group, we have a Twitter, an Instagram, and now we have a Google Plus, although, like I said before, that Google Plus is a challenge for me. So, not really too sure about that. And we're going to have the ability to do live streaming and stuff now from the YouTube channel, provided there are no additional issues with this second attempt at the YouTube channel. But please hop on over to the website at www.handmadecraftycreators.com and check that out. You'll have to sign in if you want to join into the forums and stuff. But otherwise, if you're just reading the blogs and watching the videos and all that stuff that we've got the public content, go for it. I'll be glad to have you. I'll be glad to meet you, and I hope that we get to see each other again. And for my Sparkle by Monica crowd, same thing. Like I said earlier, I'm sending the invites out to both of you guys. So, well, both of you guys, all of you, all of you. It's not just both. I'm talking to both cameras though. That's what I meant. So, I hope you know what I meant. But yeah, come on over. There's no negativity gonna be in my crib, in my house. So I don't want to have that kind of involvement. Um, Positivity all the way. I look forward to meeting you guys. Two cameras. I know, fish sandwich. It's insane. I don't even know who to talk to actually, because I keep trying. This one's up higher and this one's down lower. The one over here to my left is actually connected to my desktop computer, which is really over here to my left. So I'm trying not to keep looking over here because it's a little scary trying to do all that. I'm not the best in the tech world. So, but thank you for stopping by, by Fish Sandwich. I really appreciate that. Um, Crafty Creators channel over there, so hop on over if you're interested. I really enjoy talking to you guys, and I hope that you like interacting with me and hearing what I've got to say. The Marketing Mondays, I think, is really going to be interesting for the crafty creators that are not just hobbyists. They want to. You're just a super sweetheart to talk to. I love you, Fish Sandwich. Thank you so much. I hope your kitty cat's doing well. So I am really, I like to engage with people that are also passionate like I am. If you're a hobbyist, you're not really doing your craft or your art as a business. You just do it to kind of relax and unwind. I think you're still going to get something out of this group, because you will be able to find out what all of us are doing that are transitioned from a hobby to a business. You will be able to go, do I want to do craft fairs? Do I need a business license? Do I want an Etsy shop? Should I go to Amazon Handmade? We got 4 cats now, and one of them is, oh, ooh, yuck. No. You know, sometimes kitty cats can be so messy, even though they give themselves baths and all that stuff. Man, mine, one of the girls, String Bean, you've probably seen her on previous videos. She started out the runt of the litter, and she's got these massive paws that every time she goes into the litter box, there's still a trail of cat litter that I have to sweep up. And it's so annoying. But now sometimes because she's so big, she will drag her bottom like a dog does. It's just horrible, and I have to go and wipe that up. So I don't like that. She will go to the litter box and use it, or she'll go poopy outside. But sometimes I still have to clean up after a cat, and I don't like doing it. But but it's my husband says it's because she's mad at me. That's sometimes an indication of worms. No, she doesn't have worms. I had that checked out. I was scared to death, but no, she's good. It's just because she's an overeater. And I guess from where she started out as a runt, because we thought she was going to die when she was first born, and I had to bottle feed her. So I guess that has just stuck with her. So now she's as big as a mid-sized dog. So it's just the fact that sometimes when she has a little bit excessive situation back there, if you know what I mean. Not trying to be gross, you guys. But she kind of drags. Nothing like forcing worm pills. Oh, yeah, that's no fun. We did have to do that to one of our cats way back in the day, and that was actually our first experience trying to give a cat a pill. No. And the little chewies that you try to put the pills into, that never worked for us. So that was my husband finally got down how to grip the mouth and throw the pill in, but yeah, that was an experience. So I didn't know we were going to be digressing on the kitty cat talk and poop and all that stuff. I do apologize, guys. I'll take a drink of Diet Coke for that. Um, yeah, I don't see any kind of chitter chatter over here in the Crafty Creators group, but it's also brand new. I think I've only got nine subscribers on it so far. I'm not one of these people that goes and stalks all these groups trying to pull people in. What my process, I guess, has been, all these people that have been on the Crafty Creator support playlist at my Sparkle channel, those are the people that I am going back and trying to get pulled over here into the Crafty Creators channel. Definitely open an Etsy store if you haven't. It's good for craft creators. Yeah, I love it. There's a lot of negative people with all the changes and them going public on the market and everything as far as the stock market. But, to me, it gets a lot higher traffic than my website that I have. And also when I start getting an order from the Etsy store, that person most times becomes a repeat shopper, and then I just tell them, hey, if you want to do another custom order with me, just hit me up over here at my website. So those people that are ill about the fees and all of that stuff at Etsy, I don't have a problem with it because I look at it as like a marketing fee. It's just part of it. It helps with my business. And I don't like to put all my beads in one basket. So that's another tip for you crafty creators. And those are the types of things for Marketing Mondays that I'll be trying to include. Again, based on my experience, as the group grows, hopefully, then we'll be able to talk more. It's better than paying rent on a brick and mortar store. You got that right, because you got not only the rent for the store, but you got your lights, you got cable so that you can process your purchases and all that stuff. Hiring staff if you get really busy, which everybody would love to be really busy, wouldn't you? I know I would. But yeah, not right now. When I first moved here to Texas, I was looking at opening just a small bead store to have classes and sell beads and stuff in, like I've got this big mess behind me. But it was just too expensive. Even just 600 square foot, not on a busy area street in my location out here, was going to be about $2,000 a month just for the leasing of that space. That has nothing to do with lighting or the water or any of that stuff. So quickly found out having a store was not good for me. So another tip for you crafty creators. But again, that's what the Crafty Creators channel will be about, is on each day of the week, which I have the videos discussing what we'll do each day of the week, what we'll try to do anyway for the events. And this is just to start out with, to be able to talk about these types of things. And that is another reason why I think that's better for us as crafty creators, because we're all about that question, do we want this to be a hobby or do we want it to be a business? Eventually you may transition over. So for me, having this group, this new group, and this new channel, sorry, I'm losing my hair. um, I felt like it just needed to have the new website, the handmadecraftycreators.com. The Facebook group is great, but a lot of people don't use Facebook. So when I do content, like written content, printed content, all of that kind of stuff, maybe even having contributors like guest blog posts and all that stuff, um, then it needs to be housed somewhere, and I can add files to the Facebook group, which I will be doing. I've already got some files there. But I find that a lot of people in other Facebook groups that I have, like I have one for El Paso artists and beaters, they have a hard time finding those files, even though it's at the top button. So a website, I think more people are a little bit more comfortable with, especially older people. They're a little bit more comfortable with, hey, I want to get, where are your resource files? Well, I'll go to the FAQ screen, or, I'll go to the video screen because I'm sure she's got a video about it, something like that, or the forum. That's the cool thing about this website. The way that I set it up is to have the access. You can log in and get the access to your forum, and it doesn't have to be where you're scrolling eternally through, if let's say you do crochet and you're going to the forum and you're like, oh, I've got to scroll through all of this stuff, which is something you have to do at the Facebook group, unfortunately. I mean, you can search, you can type in the search, but a lot of people don't know that you can do that. But at this website, the forum, it has its own knitting and crochet block, and you click on that block and you can see all the different discussions and the people that belong to that certain niche within the Handmade Crafty Creators niche. So I think that's pretty cool. Again, because it's just got created yesterday and no one's really used it yet, other than me kind of sporadically posting some stuff in there and a couple of people just asking to be added. We'll see how it goes, and if it needs to change, that's fine. Like I said, this is just something to offer you guys a place, a hub, if you're interested in it. And if you're not, if you just want to visit everybody's channels and do that support train, that's good too. I hope that you will support our Crafty Creators channel, even though you might not want to join, the website or the Facebook group and social media and all that stuff. If you are not a crafty creator, you just make videos, but you know some crafty creators that do handmade things and tutorials, please share it. So that's all I came on here for today, for Marketing Monday and my dual live stream. Thank you for putting up with this crazy shenanigans. I'm surprised I haven't blown up the computer and the phone. Thank you very much, technology. Wow, what a world. If Monica can figure out how to do 2 cameras at one time on 2 channels and not get blown up, or the house catch on fire, or me have a stroke, things are all good in the world. And I only had to have 2 sips of Diet Coke for this. Another thing for Crafty Creators is this very thing. How do you do a live stream? How do you do a Google Hangout? How do you do blah, 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 blah? It's all these different things that you might be interested in finding out. It might be useful to you. How do you teach a craft class? How do you have the confidence to speak to people? I struggled with that for years. I still struggle with it, although you would never know it from me just blabbing to you guys. But I like to think that these are all topics that we can have, especially on Wavelength Wednesdays. That is something where we're talking about communication and maybe how you feel about something. So that I think would be really interesting. And not necessarily everything is going to have a video attached to it. It might just be a document. Hi, Nancy. How are you doing? I am trying to do 2 live streams at once. I've got my Crafty Creators channel over here to the left, and then I've got my Sparkle by Monica channel, which is where you're at, over here to my right. So if you see me talking up here and not talking to you, it's because of that. I have a Handmade Crafty Creators group that I'm trying to announce today for Marketing Mondays. So That's what I'm doing. I'm blabbing to two different cameras and hoping that I don't blow up the whole system here, but we shall see. But thank you. It's nice to see you. I am a handmade jewelry maker, and that's what all this mess is back here behind me. So I've got three projects I should be beating projects that I need to be working on, but I wanted to hop on here and do this announcement. Looks like I'm coming up on 37 minutes over here at the Crafty Creators channel. Again, if you're interested in that, this is the kickoff of the new website today. That is www.handmadecraftycreators.com. See you there. And for you guys, the Sparkle by Monica, if you are interested, come on over and check it out, and please share. So I think what I'm going to do is head off. I'm not seeing a whole lot of activity, but I realize it's kind of an off time for you guys. It's coming up on 1:45 my time here in Texas, and I think East Coast is still 2 hours. Let's see, 2 hours ahead of me, so that would make it what, almost 3:45. Excuse me, almost 3:45 for you guys. Pacific, it might be a little bit after. Oh, well, I guess it'll be about 1 o'clock for you guys. 12:45 Central Time. I don't really know. I can't remember. Maybe Central Time is 2:45 for you guys because it's like an hour different, I think. So anyway, I hope, as I see, if you all are really interested in this as things grow, or maybe, if they don't, then I'll make a schedule as far as streaming schedules and more interactive events and things if you guys are really interested in that. But until then, I do already have an event schedule out where I'm posting something daily, and you can check out the video at the Crafty Creators channel for that because I detail what we're doing. I also have that information on the FAQ, the FAQ section at the website, so check that out. If you have any questions for me as Handmade Crafty Creators or as Sparkle by Monica fans, please leave me a comment in the description below. Please hit that like button. Both of you guys. Both of you channels, rather. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate that. And apparently that bell button is really important because even though you subscribe to channels, if you don't hit the little bell icon, then each time someone goes live or they post a new video, you don't get the notification for it unless that bell icon is hit. So if you're interested in my crazy shenanigans, because I have I do apologize. These live streams and things are just spur of the moment, except with the exception of the one I did plan, which went horribly awry because I couldn't get it to work on the desktop or my husband's laptop that day. The iPhone has been my go-to. So anyway, please like, comment so I know if you enjoy the concept I'm going for here. If you have any concerns, any suggestions, whatever, leave your comments. Please be kind. No negative Nellies or negative Neds, if you don't mind, because I don't want any kind of drama. As I mentioned before in my previous videos, no, there's no competition between all of the other support groups that's out there. As a matter of fact, eventually I would like to collaborate with some of those groups if they're interested in doing things as I learn how to do better with live streaming and stuff. But for the most part, it's about outreach for my Handmade Crafty Creators on this new channel and the group and the website and everything, so that we can have a better interaction and engagement and learn from one another with some real meaty topics that we want to find out about. You know, not just the support element itself, which is of course going to be there and be great, but to be able to learn to discuss things that are important to us as hobbyists, crafters, and handmade entrepreneurs, because eventually you might want to segue like I have, and that's what you're doing full time. Even if you're not going to do it full time, you might want to do it part time. You still have to go through that whole process, the whole thought process, and you don't have to be afraid, because now you'll have a place to come and ask if you are an artist or a painter. Come on there and ask your fellow artists and painters, hey, what did you do to make the decision to go to approach that art gallery for submitting your paintings or your drawings? Or, do you have a business license, or are you just a hobbyist, or what are you doing? Those types of things. So that kind of takes the fear out, because you're in that forum talking to your peers in your particular category. And you have a place to go if you feel like you need it. So I hope you guys find that interesting. I know I would if this was available to me back when I got started. And the more that technology progresses, it can be a great thing. It can also be a stressful thing. But that is what Diet Coke is for, right? I know, Kathy, if you're on here or you watch this later, you're going to kill me because I'm still drinking the Diet Coke. But I have to have it, girl, especially when I'm trying to do 2 cameras at one time. So I am coming up on the 30-minute mark here at Sparkle by Monica, and now it's 42 minutes almost at the Crafty Creators. So Crafty Creators, I'm going to say goodbye to you now. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please join the channel, join the group, join the forums at the website. Again, that's www.handmadecraftycreators.com. Go check it out. Leave me a message if you have any questions. If you find something that doesn't work properly, please let me know. Please come back and leave a comment on this video once it becomes a video, because you know how the live streams operate. You have to wait for it to process. Give me a like on this video if you don't mind before you head out, in case you forget to come back. And give me a comment here on this if you are cool with this kind of engagement. If you have any suggestions or whatever, I hope you have a wonderful day. Keep on creating, guys. Okay, so now I'm going to turn around and I'm going to disconnect the stream, okay? So let's watch Monica's gray hair as she does that. Even though I dyed it, look, see how it looks like that my grays are coming back. Oh my gosh. Nice and easy. I forget now what I think it's 8G, but I forget the name of the dye. It's kind of fizzling out on me a little bit. It was nice and easy though, I'll have to give them that. Okay, so I'm going to end the stream. Yes, I'm sure. Bye, guys. All right, so I've ended the stream over at Crafty Creators. I think I have 6 people over here at Sparkle by Monica, although really there's not anyone talking, so that's okay. If you are scared that I'm going to leave my Sparkle by Monica channel, no, that's not happening. This is actually my main thing here. My main channel, because that's what I do full time. I make handmade jewelry, and I teach classes, not just jewelry classes, but crafting classes. So there is going to be content in particular to just making jewelry, my usual DIY craft projects. I do candy bouquets. I do all kinds of crazy stuff. I'll always be coming here to my Sparkle by Monica channel doing that. And I'm not going to leave this channel. Now, I will have to say, after the debacle that happened in creating that new Crafty Creators channel, where I was trying to do the outreach to all the people that were on my Sparkle Crafty Creator support playlist, and I got the boot from that first channel, that scared me a little bit. I had no warning. They just immediately terminated that crazy thing, and no explanation even after I messaged them. So I thought, man, that's going to mess up this channel. But it didn't. So that's good, because I've had this channel forever, long before doing any kind of outreach or whatever. So barring that does not happen, which I do actually upload these videos at my sparklebymonica.com website, but a lot of people, find that it's just easier to come to YouTube to watch videos. So I understand that. There's no problem there with that. And also, it takes up a lot of the bandwidth at my website to try to house all of those videos there. And because it's a free access for that, I can't afford to pay for additional bandwidth and stuff to house every single video, especially like any kind of live stream video, because it would just be, oh man, it would be so expensive to do that. It's crazy. Well, I mean for me, because I'm not making big money on the jewelry making aspect of life. So paying $600 a month for additional bandwidth or more, no, can't do it. Sorry. So YouTube, and everybody comes to YouTube anyway. I did look at that Vimeo opportunity. I think I mentioned that to a couple of you guys that were asking me about it in a previous stream here when we were talking about doing the different video platforms. I had tried and failed miserably at Twitch. I haven't gone back to that, but now that I have this fancy schmancy Logitech webcam, which had, it looked like, as far as me doing the stream over at Crafty Creators channel, it looked like it was clear and it wasn't kind of warbly. I don't know what you guys are seeing here from the iPhone. I noticed the other day when I was outside and it was windy, when the live stream got uploaded, it kind of was a little bit blurry, even though it said it had great signal, and I could see on the screen it was a great signal. It wasn't a great signal after the video got uploaded, so I don't know what it is. But um, the videos and stuff at YouTube are easily accessible, whereas the Vimeo channel that I looked into, you have to have, in a lot of cases, you have to have a login, like a password type community over there, which would lend itself, if you're like me and you're a teaching artist and you're going to make beading and craft tutorials and you want your audience to pay you for that service, like a subscription service or something. I can see the need and the usage of that for that purpose. But the problem is that Vimeo, once you do something like that, they switch you from the free platform that doesn't allow you to do that kind of thing over to the business platform, and then it's very expensive. I think it was $49 a month. To me, that's very expensive. Now, if I already knew I had a base of like 15, 20 students, that wouldn't be a problem. But no, not when you're just, I wonder if people are going to come and take classes from me. So, and I'm going to have to think that out a little bit better as far as that particular platform. Twitch is something I thought maybe I could do live stream like that, like a class. Because I see a lot of people over there, they're still in the kind of the gamer mode over there at Twitch, even though when I typed in the handmade community I mentioned before in my previous stream, the ones that I found in that community, you could tell. I mean, they're into the cosplay. Is that how you say it? That whole gamer type of not mentality, but like the whole environment type thing. So they're really savvy with these animations and stuff running across the screen and stuff blipping up all over the screen, and they have like a dual camera angle so that you can see their table where they're working. Or like there was a gal, she was sewing, so she had a camera situated at her sewing machine as well as the camera looking at her face and all that stuff. So I mean, they have it. They're very tech savvy and all of that there. But it is hard to kind of really engage there because they work on a credit system, and if it's tied to your Amazon Prime, that's okay. But if you don't have Amazon Prime, then they call it Twitch Prime because it's kind of linked. Then you can't really necessarily subscribe to a channel. You might be able to follow them, but if you subscribe, you have to pay. So it's a little strange. You have to kind of figure all that stuff out over at Twitch. And I don't think a lot of my audience would really enjoy going over there. So I could be wrong. And again, because my very first Twitch stream failed, I don't think that that's something that I mean, I what is that? Winners never quit, quitters never win. So I am not going to completely give up on those ideas, but I've got to do a little bit more investigation. And just like I'm doing these streams here on this cell phone, and for the very first time, a webcam over here to my left for my Crafty Creators channel. Just like with anything, practice makes perfect. I tell that to my beading students all the time they come to me and they're making jewelry and they get so frustrated sometimes with making loops or doing the wraps and things. And I tell them, hey, even after you leave this class, practice. Just practice, 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 because that's how I was able to then get confident enough to start selling. Well, even just to give my items away, because I'm one of these kind of people that when I create something, I don't want it to fall apart. So I'm going to dang well be sure that it's, there's nothing sticking out to poke you. There's nothing going to break and fall apart and all that stuff. So regardless of whether I was just giving it to my friends and family as gifts, before I transitioned over to selling it, I was always practicing. because I wanted to be sure, one, that it looked nice, two, that it felt great, three, that it was good quality so it wouldn't just fall apart on you. And then I could feel confident in moving forward and then progressing on in my skills. So I just need to do that. I need to take that same mindset and apply it to learning the technologies on whatever the platforms are and just see, because you never really know until you do physically participate in those platforms, to see the level of engagement and the interest and where your students like to find you. I will have to say that I've gotten a lot more communication from my jewelry making students that are interested in seeing things online, as well as my YouTube channel, versus me trying to plan these classes out here at physical locations, just because, one, they don't have to get out in their car to go anywhere. They can just see me online. If I do things live, they can get on there and live chat and ask me the same questions that they could in a classroom. So that's something that they are anticipating liking. The problem with that is, like, if, let's say I go to Vimeo, I cannot do that without paying for the professional business account there. And I don't want to do that if I only have one person show up and they're not paying anything for the class. They're just logging in, because it is a login thing. But I'm paying Vimeo in order to have that there. So, that just would not be economical, especially with a handmade. You're a handmade artist, and you don't get, unless you're just a very lucky handmade artist, you're not getting a lot of money to pay all of these fees, especially $49 a month or more. I think I think they had a $79 a month or something too. I kind of put that out of my mind for a little while. Twitch, they don't have the fee. However, you do have the credit system, and I just, I kind of blipped out after I couldn't get my technology to work. So I think I'm going to head off from here, guys, because I'm now at almost 42 minutes here. Thank you again for those that stopped by. And I hope I didn't scare anybody off by trying to do the two streams at one time. I am still quite pleased with myself that I did not blow anything up. I do think that I like this camera, this Logitech camera that I got. So I just got to figure out a different positioning for it based on, how I sit at my desk and everything. If you liked this video, this live stream, please remember to go ahead and give it a thumbs up now if you're still here, because I see that there's several people here. I hope it's not anybody that's scared. Sometimes I know that people like to pop into these streams, but they don't interact, they don't speak, because they just don't want to be seen, I guess. But don't be afraid. Don't be scared. I'm just a crazy person, but in a good way, I like to think. So everyone is welcome here. Everyone is welcome at the Crafty Creators site. As far as the level of being placed on the support playlist and all of that, you will need to be a Handmade Crafty Creator for the support playlist over at that site. But as far as the engagement and everything, you're welcome to come and check us out and be a part of that group and everything like that. So I hope everyone enjoys it. I am going to head off, though. I think I'm going to go get a snack and then make my handmade jewelry products. I've got 3 projects here that I've got laid out on my table, and I need to get busy on it because I need to get it shipped out. So thank you guys so much. Have a sparkle-rific day, y'all. Bye.